by the end of this week, we are likely going to hit 90. And when we hit 90 goals, that's the reward. I don't want to say, oh, we hit 90, now we start ordering stuff for the reward. I want to be ready to go and be able to do it. All right? So let me know what you think in regards to some kind of an item that I could test. I mean, there's many options, but the question is, what is it that you guys really want? Okay, no, because already people are being ridiculous. The one chip challenge of it. This is not Phil eats something hot and gets sick and vomits all over his setup. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a legitimate testing of a product. That's what I used to do at the beginning of DSP Tries It. Let me put it this way. If we lined up like 5+ products that you guys all suggested, these are interesting products for DSP Tries It, I could just get them all, and then we could alternate. If we hit one goal, I do food. Then we do a product testing. Then maybe I try some kind of a liquor or something, because that was going to be option number 3 is, hey, test some kind of liquor out, right? Like go and get some kind of a hard liquor or an ale or something, and then we test it out live for DSP Tries It. The thing is, I didn't do that because no one really came up with a concrete idea. The only idea anyone really gave me was that there's a Johnny Walker, I guess, taste test pack, which I didn't go to the liquor store yesterday, so I don't know if they have it or not. But outside of that, you know, I would love to know what you guys want, but I need feedback. Not just, oh, Phil's just going to pull stuff out of his ass and just try random products, because then all people are going to do is complain. I need to know what kind of product you guys would like to see, okay? So I don't know what's going on in Kick Chat today. It's obvious it's a bunch of people who are sitting on a Discord server and are all sharing the same idea for some bizarre reason. So what's going on in Kick Chat is there's like 5 or 6 accounts all spamming the same thing, and they're saying zoo trip. A tiered reward based on levels of support, and the reward is going to be that I go to the zoo. What are you talking about? Exactly. Number 1, if I were to go to the zoo, it would have to be a planned thing that I do to make sure that both myself and my wife have time off that we can go do something together. Now, we just had a day off together on Thursday. Right now, there's no way that we could even have a day off together for a bit because of her scheduling. Her work schedule is actually really weird this week, and then it changes again next week. Her work schedule is all over the place, okay? The only way that we get to have like a day together like that is because we have to plan it, and she has to actually schedule a day off of her job to be sure we have the day off. So even if this was the best idea ever made in history, okay, it would have to wait weeks and weeks. We'd have to plan it so that we can have the day off together. That's number 1. Number 2, if we agree that the zoo trip is something that we're going to do, then do you not understand that that is potential for risk? Because now these morons will think, gee, every time Phil has a day off, he's going to the zoo, and they're going to try to fuck with it. Do you understand that this IRL shit cannot happen? The only way IRL stuff can ever happen is if it's not planned, meaning it happens, you're not aware of it, and then after the fact, I can reward you with it. So let me give you an example here. Maybe someday I would be able to do something like that, but you wouldn't know about it till it's already done. And then I could say, hey, guess what, guys? We went to the zoo. And FYI, when we hit a certain amount of reward tiers hit, I will release a series of vlogs, or maybe we'll do a special stream where we watch together and react to our zoo trip together live on a stream. That's possible. So I will say it's a valid idea, but because of the level of harassment that I get, I can't do it the way that you want. I can't just say, we're just going to go to the zoo on a whim. Can't happen because of our work. And then we're going to go and absolutely not care in a world that someone could try to fuck with us. You know, and the thing is, what people don't realize, it's not as simple as, oh, go to the zoo. You're afraid someone's going to harass you there. I could give 2 shits. No one's going to harass me in real life. My trolls are basement-dwelling losers who literally suck the balls of a bunch of internet grifters. They're not smart people, nor are they adventurous or courageous. They're never going to do anything to me in real life, and if they did, they'd go to jail because I'd have them arrested, okay? But what I'm worried about is that these people doing anonymous fuck-around things. Like, for example, you know I'm at the zoo that day, so they call in some kind of a threat to the zoo and now the cops show up. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what they would do, because they're degenerates and they don't have any kind of moral compass. They don't feel like that would be a risk to people at the zoo other than me and my family, or that, that would be a waste of police resources. They would probably do that. You understand? That's how fucked up they are. So that's why, no, I'm not doing that on a whim. But like I said, maybe someday I would actually have something planned that you don't know about that I could do. And then, it would be all good. I mean, just to give you guys some perspective, you remember that when I went to Connecticut in 2019, okay, I didn't tell you guys the real reason I was going to Connecticut for a good reason. Like, if the trolls knew that I was actually going there to get married, they probably would have swatted my parents' house. You understand? So that's why I didn't tell anyone what we were really going there for, because I had to keep that a secret. And in the meantime, by the way, while we were planning our trip to Connecticut to secretly get married, they were planning on robbing my house. They actually had the blueprints to the homes in my private community, and they were studying the blueprints and talking about this on public forums, stating how they could break into private community and rob my house while I was gone. The only reason this didn't take place is because I publicly called them out and said I had already alerted the police to it. Okay? This is what I mean. And people, just because I'm a calm dude and I kind of just like sit around and relax and don't act like this kind of shit happens to me every day, doesn't mean that it doesn't. And again, it's because of a bunch of fucked up people on the internet who are internet grifters who have made it a fun thing to try to hurt Phil because they financially benefit from it, which they should not. And rightfully, I could sue the fuck out of them and they would be erased from the fucking internet. But I don't have the time or means to do that because I'm not rich, you understand? So because of that, they get away with this shit. And they have sick people who follow them who do sick things. So no, I am not allowed to just go to the zoo whenever I want and have people know about it. They would ruin it. All right? So I would say fair idea. That would obviously be something very different. Maybe for like on a 50 or a 25 streak, not streak, but, goal hit kind of a deal, reward, we could do something special. But that's something that would have to happen and you guys would not know about it. All right? So FYI, that's why I can't do shit like that. That's also why I can't do any IRL content. You think Ice Poseidon has it bad? These idiots would do just as bad to me. That's why you never know where I am and you don't know what I'm doing or anything until after the fact, because I'm not stupid. All right. And trust me, it works because I haven't had any kind of that harassment in a very long time because I've been smart about it. Again, my content begins and ends in this room. And since I made that distinction, I said, we're not leaving this room. All the content comes out of this room. The harassment has dramatically been reduced. And I'm not going back to the way it used to be just for the sake of a bunch of fucking people in Kick Chat screaming like children. Okay. Okay, cool.